Once upon a garden, where nature always has a plan, and I usually have a guess, another month's adventure was about to begin. July settled over the garden like a 15-tog duvet, bringing long, warm days and the sort of sunshine that makes everyone feel wonderfully optimistic. Now, according to my faithful guide, Gardening Through the Year, July is the month to keep the lawn neatly trimmed. Mine, however, looked at the drought, considered the matter carefully, and decided to suspend all growing until further notice. I only cut it just the once, which felt less like gardening and more like signing a peace treaty. The watering can, on the other hand, hardly had a day off. Almost every morning we'd set off together on our rounds, me with high hopes, the plants with slightly lower expectations. I poured gallons of water onto thirsty pots and borders, all the while hoping I looked like someone who knew what they were doing. Of course, no sooner had everything begun to look vaguely respectable than local insects decided it was time to get involved. First came slugs, who preferred the night shift and left behind teeth marks in the leaves. And then aphids appeared, gathering in little crowds as though I'd opened an all-you-can-eat buffet. And although I enjoyed the feeling of being productive, I'm fairly certain the pests simply moved to a different leaf and carried on feasting. One task quietly slipped through the net altogether: feeding the containers. Every time I walked past them, I'd think, I really must do that today. And then I'd notice another weed, or I'd remember I'd put the kettle on. Fortunately, plants seem to possess a remarkable amount of patience. If only they could make tea. But then came one of those delightful little surprises that keeps every gardener coming back for more. I spent an afternoon deadheading the faded flowers, gently snipping away blooms that had finished their turn in the spotlight. A few days later, new flowers began to emerge, bright and cheerful, as though the garden had quietly decided to forgive me for everything. Before I started all this, I imagined gardening was about knowing exactly what to do. Instead, it seems to involve making an educated guess, getting it slightly wrong, and hoping nature is in a forgiving mood. Thankfully, it often is. So July may not have been a month of flawless horticulture, but the plants are still standing, I'm still learning, and neither of us have given up on the other just yet. Until next time, always remember, as long as my garden is growing, I'm still outstanding in my field. Goodbye.